Here now with more. He is the Speaker of the House himself. Mike Johnson is with us. Mr. Speaker, welcome back to the program. Great to see you. I look forward to seeing you next week. Let's start with Joe's farewell and the fundamental question: can Americans look themselves in the eye and can they ask the question: are they better off economically? Is the economy better off? Are they more safe and secure both at home and abroad? Because that would be the measure of any president's success, wouldn't it?
It would, and the American people just answered that question in the election cycle. That's why Donald J. Trump led the Republican Party to a landslide victory in the Electoral College with the popular vote, with the House and the Senate. We delivered in part because President Trump is so strong and President Biden is so weak. And it doesn't matter what he said tonight, Sean. The American people know his legacy. You summarized it really well tonight. The wide open border and the catastrophe that will be for years to come, the skyrocketing cost of living, the average American family spending $13,000 more annually just to stay afloat, weakness on the world stage, a terrible, catastrophic foreign policy in every metric. We had the weaponization of the DOJ, lawfare, the undermining of our entire system, and then the cover-up of his cognitive decline. I mean, these are objective facts. The American people saw that, they evaluated it, and that's why we have the ushering in of a new golden age that starts in 5 days.
Look, in the House, you have a very slim majority, and it will get a little larger in the months ahead. But to start out, you have a pretty slim majority. The way I look at it is Republicans are going to have to be united. Not any one Republican, in my view, is going to get everything that they want. And there's going to have to be some give and take. Do you feel confident that the agenda of Donald Trump is the agenda of House Republicans? Will they unite behind that agenda? Because, I would say to people, as Reagan famously said, if you're 80% in agreement, you're not my enemy.
Yeah, that's right. He said, I'd rather get 80% of what I want than go over the cliff with the flag waving. Let me tell you, I've got great news to report tonight, Sean. The House Republican Conference and the Senate Republicans are united. This is the America First agenda that we are going to deliver in spades. The American people demand and deserve that, and we are ready to act. We've been preparing for this moment. We can't wait for President Trump to take that oath in 5 days. And when he comes into the Oval Office, he will hit the ground running. We'll have legislation prepared for him to sign into law. He'll issue a flurry of executive orders because we have to fix all these disastrous policies that Biden and Harris delivered to the country. And it will happen quickly. It's going to be a very aggressive first 100 days agenda. We'll use the budget reconciliation process. As we've said so many times, Sean, we have to fix everything. So it's going to require teamwork. It's going to require unity, but I'm telling you, every single member in the House and Senate that is a Republican is ready to get this job done.
Okay, so there's been a back and forth a little bit with the Senate, and we'll talk to Ted Cruz a little later in the program today about whether there is the one big, beautiful bill that takes place or whether you will need to do it in two parts, two separate bills. Where do you stand in the House on that? Because you will go first, you will send your bill over to the U.S. Senate, and they will deal with the bill that you send them.
Yeah, Ted Cruz is one of my dear friends, and we agree on almost everything. I think we may have a difference of opinion on the one versus two bill strategy, but I'll tell you what we're focusing on in the House is achieving the objectives, accomplishing the mission. And to do that, the one big, beautiful bill strategy makes the most sense. Remember that the Senate has 53 Republicans. In the House, I've got 220. I'll have a few less when those leave to join the administration. So it's a very complicated set of factors that we have to deal with. We have a very diverse conference, much more diverse than the Senate Republicans. And so I think at the end of the day, and hope that they will heed our call for the one bill strategy. The President Trump still prefers that. He and I talked about it today. He wants to get all this done in one big sweeping bill, and I think that's the best way to deliver it and get it over the line, Sean.
Let me ask you this. Among the many things you have to do is you have to secure the border. Then we have to find the known terrorists, murderers, rapists, cartel members, gang members. They have to be deported. Others that didn't respect our laws, border sovereignty, they have to be deported. Then you have to fix the economy. I think the key to that is going to be energy dominance. That will make the country rich. That could shore up Social Security and Medicare, hopefully start to pay down the debt that we're putting on our kids and grandkids, and really make America an energy-wealthy country. Can all of that happen? Can it happen no later than Memorial Day? What is the timeline you're looking at?
Yeah, that's the timeline. All of those things can be accomplished in the budget reconciliation process and many more things. Cutting down the size and scope of government, getting control of the regulatory state, limiting the bureaucracy. All these things can happen concurrently because we've been doing all the work to build up for this moment. The timeline is, Sean, that we will pass the budget. Our target is by late February. That sets up the reconciliation process, as you know, and then we get to the real grind of those policy changes. And we'll do that. The target is to have this bill on the floor, the one big beautiful bill, to pass by early April before Easter. That would send it over to the Senate. And if we follow this timetable, it's aggressive, but it's necessary to get relief to the people. You can have this bill signed into law by the end of April, certainly before Memorial Day. So that will be a great day for the country. In between that time, though, Sean, remember, a lot will be happening. The House will be passing all sorts of legislation. The Senate will go along with so much of this. And President Trump, of course, will have his executive authority and all the things he's going to do beginning on day one to secure that border and begin this economic renaissance. And we can't wait for that to happen.
Well, that has to also include refunding the police, restoring law and order, and also what I call preparing for the next generation of warfare. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think future wars are not going to be fought on a battlefield, but in air-conditioned offices. And I believe that President Trump's idea for an Iron Dome is it's an idea whose time has come, and it may end up being his greatest legacy, a generation from now.
Yeah, it could. We've maintained peace through strength, and President Trump has exhibited that on the world stage, illustrated that with this peace deal with Hamas and Israel. It would not have happened, as you said, without him having that firm hand. Make no mistake, the Biden administration has made a mess of this. They appeased Iran. They failed to confront them, and that emboldened them and their proxies like Hamas while they undermined Israel. Hamas thought that the Israel-U.S. relationship was weakening. President Trump set that record straight. And that's what's going to happen, restoring peace through strength. The future of warfare is different, Sean. We have to think about it differently and fund it differently. It's going to be drone warfare, cyber warfare, all those things involved. But we have to maintain the greatest fighting force on the planet. We will. We're the last great superpower, and America's coming back.
All right, Speaker Johnson, thank you. We appreciate your time.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.